Hello and welcome to today's webinar. I am going to show you what TradingView is all about and how we can use it in your trading Forex or stocks. Right here, right now, I have logged out. When you try to enter tradingview.com the first time, you would have to join. It's totally free. I've already done that. You go through the process and I will just sign in. You also have to remember to confirm your email address. Here it is. As you can see up here, the recent changes in different indexes and Forex pairs, Euro USD, S&P 500. On this left side here, this is where the top authors is placing their trading ideas. You can follow them just as a social site, and you can also see other people's trading ideas here, either short or long, Euro USD, for you to gain insight of how other people are thinking, how other people are using the chart, and to maybe yourself understand how to use TradingView better. I always go to charts. I don't look at other people's ideas because I have my own. And I'm on free, so this will show up that I'm having more than one chart up. Fine. As you come to this place, there's a lot of information here. I will start and try to give you a very brief but good explanation of everything. This is where you can place in your symbols, your currency pair, your stock that you're searching for or want to look at and analyze. For example, right now there is Euro USD, there is GBP, pound yen, no, pound dollar, American dollar. You also have Facebook, for example, if you want to see how that is going. It's mostly up lately. So here is how you change between different pairs, stocks, indices, but also you can just type with your keyboard and it will show up automatically in the search that you're doing. The next thing here is the time frames. What you're also going to do is that you can favorite your time frames and it will appear here. I have favorites. I have 4 hours, daily, and weekly because those ones are normally used. And then I use candlestick chart. You can also use line charts and bar charts, and even Renko if you feel like that's a better thing. I use candlesticks because that's what I've been taught, and that's how I feel I get the most information out of the chart. Next thing is indicators. Here you can find all sorts of indicators that you want to add to your chart. I have already maxed out mine, which is you press on this plus sign, and then you can hide them and you can add them to your chart. This is an exponential moving average, which I have set to 200. 55, I will actually put it on here. This shows where there is support. Mostly will be used on 4 hours in an aggressive and fast-moving market. This doesn't work here, as you can see. It's just in the middle of anywhere. But if you have it here, it comes up here, comes up here, comes up here, then it's a good tool for somebody. I don't use it myself, but yeah. So, and then there's other indicators here that you can use, SRL levels, oscillators, Bollinger Bollinger Bands, you name it, moving averages, pivot points. Yeah, and then there is people that has made scripts as well that you can look into. Some are free, some costs money. And then you have templates. I don't use that nowadays. Actually, I have not used that for a very long time. Alerts, you can create alerts of when the price if the price hits a specific target that you have set, or a moving average is crossing over the other one. I don't use alerts as well. Yeah, and then I will take this bar later, but this is basically favorites that I have that I use every day. You can save your charts. You're only allowed to save one, I guess, one template for your chart. I only have one. Fine, it works. Works for me. And here, I think this is one of the better things, that you have a camera. You can take a snapshot of your whole screen, no, of your chart, and then you can save it. You can send to somebody else, so that the current chart that you have right now is not be lost. For example, how trades, if you're going through trades that you have made, you have to look back at it, and this is how it went, and then you can look later and do analysis. Was this a good entry? Was it a bad entry? So this goes into, I mostly use it to add it to my trading plan. I will come with that later, but I value it, or unless I would just use the print screen on my keyboard, whatever fits you. And then when we have come over here, I have created a watch list for all the pairs that I'm tracking. You can add whatever you want here. You can add cryptocurrencies, you can add Forex pairs, stocks, indices. I only look for Forex pairs, and I don't use half of this, but I find it very useful. Instead of each time plotting them in, plotting in each time on my keyboard, USD, pound, dollar, yeah, American dollar against the Swiss franc, against the Canadian dollar, against the Japanese yen. I just find it much more easier to have it on my watch list here on my left side. And then, as you are behind my face here, there is some information about the pair that I currently have and some news in the corner. As you can see this blue button here that says publish idea. You can publish your idea to the community on TradingView. People can comment, people can like on your trading, and when you have done your idea, you have published it, you can press play so you can see how that idea went out in the real market. Okay. Yeah. And then down here you can have a strategy tester. I don't use anything of this, but I use this thing. This is go to a previous time. For example, last week, last month, last year. You can go back and see at events what has happened. For example, if there was an FP last month, what happened? What happened the first Friday in the last month, which is NFP, the most important news release is an American jobs report. What happened? I can go back and look at every month, and I can also see what happens every August, every year. It's really good to easily find an area of interest that you're interested in and you're researching about. What happens on, okay, there was a GBP report for the Australian dollar. How did that go that specific day and next month? For every GBP report for the last 10 years, that's a very useful tool to use. As you can see here on this on this is the price for Euro USD right here. 1 euro is costing 1.1621 dollars. The last two digit, it's not a pip. And then the first number here, number 1, is the first pip. Second one is the second pip, is the 10th pip, and then number 6 is the 100th pip. So if a price has moved from 116.21 up to 116.31, it has moved 10 pips. Okay. And then I will now go over to this side. If you press this small button over here, you get more selections. I use Eraser a lot. I chart a lot. And then the next thing here is Trendlines, which you can just use to put a trend line here because you have found resistance or you have found support. For example, if you see here, it has touched multiple times over time. This might be an area of interest. I want to mark that out. If I don't like the color of it, I can change the color of it into dark red, green, blue, purple, pink. Is that what you want? You can make it thicker. You can make it in dots. All for whatever you like. And then TradingView remembers what you had as last preset, so the next trend line is still going to be purple if you put the last one as purple. I use them as orange. And then we can see a small wheel here. I use that to change the coordinates, so it's a straight line, for example 15,200, so that when I make a straight line, it doesn't vary it a lot. And of course, as the time frames, you can favorite your most favorite tools. I use horizontal raise or Alt H. If it's a very long trend line. As you can see, it stretches far. The trend line just goes where you put it. The horizontal goes until indefinite. I also use vertical lines. This is mostly it can be used to identify the days. It can be used to identify a specific time that you want to highlight and say, from this is 1st of October to 2017, how did it go between that until the end of the year, which is 2018? Yeah, okay, it went fairly up. I use that a lot in the past in order to see how it went in a time period. For example, between August and December. It's called harvest season. It's a season where people and companies has to meet targets, and prices should trend at some point, depending on their bias. What else I use? I use arrows. I use extended line. I've all favorited them, so you can see them here. Because, for example, with trend tool, you can really, what do you call it? You can really make lines around. You can just basically mark out what you want. This is a 4-hour chart, so you can go in daily chart and really see the longer trends, or you can go down to 15 minutes and make small lines in between here and tops and bottoms. And then through that you can predict your next move of the market. I also use brush and rectangular to identify support and resistance. This is support because it rested there, and now this area became resistance. I have made mine gray filling in the background with no border. I don't feel like I need a border. You can change the colors here, visibility, how much density you have wanted to have, and of course which time frames you want. All these can be hidden. All of these tools can be hidden, and you can only see it on maybe daily or weekly if you want to. Yeah, those are those two tools. You can use ellipse, use triangles, curves. So there's really a lot to do. I haven't favored my text actually. I should maybe. So that's how you draw around with TradingView. It's very easy. It's very it's awesome. And then I use position tools to these two tools to calculate my risk reward. I use it to see visually how the trade is going and where I think it will go. And if because you can make up your mind and say, you know, this will go up, but how does it really look like? And then you can look back where you have put your position tools. Did it actually go? Because I normally remove a lot of my drawings, and I leave those open in order to say that it went well, in order for me to go back and evaluate the trade. I also use price and date range a lot to see how much profit, how much loss in every specific trade, and how far has the price gone. For example, in this case, you left click here to get your start, and then you left click again, and then here you see that it has gone up by 961 pips, 8.3%. And then if I use the position tool for long, which is this one, you left click the first and then you move. This is the profit target, and then you can extend it, and then profit target comes up here and it shows exactly the same 961. The risk reward ratio right now in this case was commercial, because it's free. If I then took, for example, 75 pips stop loss, then the risk reward ratio was 13.18. That's a lot, but it went up for quite some time. So yeah. So if you want to change this and say, you know, I want to manually fit in my entry price, you can move your entry price, you can move your profit level to price and to how many pips you think. If we just move that one, then it moved down to 961, and also stop level one that was 75 pips. I wanted to have 750. Sorry. Okay, then I clicked that away, and then it went up. And then you can also change the colors, of course, just to blue if that's possible. If you just press this wheel, I don't like it. I want green. I want black. Let's go back. And then also you can see that it becomes darker for where the price is, so that you can see that, okay, you think that it will end here, so it's still something to go. Yeah. And then the same for shorts tool. You press click that one, or you go here short position plus that one, left click, short position here, a breakout trade to the lower side, move your profit target to where you think it will end, extend it to how long time in the future you think it will end, and then you see that it hits target half through. Those are really the tools that I use. I also use extended tools and arrows to say that it went from here to here. And of course you can also change the color of this one and which direction is going in. So I guess that's mostly about the drawing tools that I use. I don't use any of this patterns, head and shoulders, Elliott wave, triangles, A B C D. I'm currently not that guy. Maybe somebody else is much better than me in that. I don't know. I don't use it. So when you have come to a conclusion, okay, fine. I have too much drawings. I can just hide all my drawing tools. Ta-da! They're all gone. You can take it on again, or you can go down here to the layers and you can manage each drawing and say this one, this specific arrow, I want to take it away. It's too much. Okay, or this risk reward, for example. And then you don't change. Then you don't remove everything. And if you're tired of everything, you go to this bucket here and remove all your drawing tools. When it comes to the symbols that I have right now, I have Aussie USD, CAD, CHF, Swiss franc, Euro, GBP, Pound, Japanese yen, and USD. That's all the majors. Euro USD, Pound USD, Swiss franc, and USD Japanese yen. Those are the majors. And then I have also this minor currency pairs that I track. I just use it for confirmation if I want to check out if a pair is stronger than the other one. Then I need the whole list of the whole pair instead of saying that Euro USD is going up right now. Okay, is the USD going up? Is it USD going down, or is it Euro going up? Then I can go just look at all my USD pairs and say, okay, maybe USD is generally going down, so that's the reason why Euro USD would go up. I hope that was everything, and I talk to you later in a video later.